Welcome to Road to Ownership. My name is Wes. Today we're going to continue with this segment that we call the call to ownership, because all we're doing here is going from state to state, from city to city, calling out families away from renting towards ownership, to help families refocus themselves toward owning a house rather than renting or paying rent for years and years and years, sometimes generation after generations. Today we're going to the state of Idaho. But before we go to the state of Idaho, I want to ask you for a quick favor. Please, just take 1 second and subscribe to this channel. It will be greatly appreciated. Now, the state of Idaho is the 39th most populous state in the country. Its population is 1.8 million people. The average price of a house in Idaho is $403,000 currently, compared to the national average, which is $374,000. So it looks like, unless our data is wrong here, it looks like the state of Idaho has an average price that is higher than the national average. The homeownership rate in Idaho is 70%, and compared to the national average, which is 65.6%. Homeownership rate by race, for blacks and African Americans specifically, the homeownership rate is 37%. Now, the cost of living in Idaho is 97.7%, which is very close to the national index of 100. If you look at homeownership, the average price of a house in Idaho, you would think that the cost of living would be very high. So it looks like maybe in Idaho, all the aspects of living is much lower. But homeownership rate itself, the average price of a house itself, is fairly high. When it comes to homeownership, like we always discuss the parameters, this is the call. This is the call for the state of Idaho. If you are in the state of Idaho and you have been working a full-time job for 5 years, 10 years, you are not in school, you don't plan to leave the state, Idaho is your base, and you've been paying that rent, and you are also a member of the working class, okay? I think you have made the wrong decision during the past few years. From the beginning on, from the get-go, when you start to work a full-time job, knowing that you would no longer be in school and you are not planning on leaving the state, and you've been paying that one all this time, I am telling you that you made the wrong decision. Homeownership is the primary level of wealth for the working class. And if you are in the working class, the second you start to work a full-time job, you become an adult. You working a full-time job, either you are an immigrant, you came in here, you didn't go to school, you plan to go, either you work in a factory, in a restaurant, you're working in a grocery store. Your plan from the beginning on should be to work on the parameters of home ownership to go towards ownership as early as possible. It takes 30 years to finish paying a house. The average term in a mortgage is about 30 years. So the earlier you start, the better it is for you. I am asking you today to plant the seed of ownership in your family. It will serve your children, and it will serve the generations that come after you. Home ownership is the primary level of wealth for the working class. And if you are in the working class, this call is for you. I want you to tell your children that your family has been called out of rentalship towards ownership today. This is my message. Is this pretty consistent? Is the same message every day? That too many people are renting. Too many people are living in those apartments. Some of them are sky high. It's time for you to start your plan towards ownership. Okay? It's time for you to plan your strategy to take your family out of the apartments toward a primary home. You might have to move out of your city, out of your county, out of your state. But it's time for you to plant the seed of ownership in your family. This was the message for the state of Idaho. Thank you.